welcome back to Declutter Revolution. And if you're anything like most women I talk to, there's a corner of your home that just won't stay under control. You clean it, you fold things, you try baskets and bins, and 2 days later it's like nothing ever happened. So today we're getting really honest. Let's talk about 5 things most people hold on to that quietly make your space and your mind feel heavier. Some of them seem harmless. Some of them you might not even notice anymore, but once they're gone, it's like the whole house exhales. Yesterday, we talked about the most common organizing mistakes like over-labeling buying bins too soon or hiding clutter instead of fixing it. And honestly, today's video is the perfect next step because these 5 things, they're usually hiding behind those systems. They take up space, waste energy, and make you feel like you're starting over every single day. Let's change that. Let's get into it. One, let's start with the beauty stuff we keep, even when we know we won't use it. We all have those bottles and jars we don't really use, but we keep them anyway. A tinted moisturizer that made your skin look weirdly shiny. A fancy shampoo that smells too strong but was on sale. That eyeliner you wore once and decided it smudges too easily, but it's still sitting there rolling around your drawer like a guilt trip in pen form. You're not using them, but tossing them. That feels wrong, wasteful, like you gave up on something. And that's exactly why they stay, not because they're helpful, but because they represent a version of you that might show up someday. I used to have this coral blush that everyone said looked healthy and radiant. But every time I wore it, I felt like a cartoon. And yet, I kept it like maybe one day I'd magically become the kind of person who pulls off coral blush and red lipstick on a Tuesday. Spoiler, I didn't. One day, I just looked at it and realized I wasn't keeping it because I liked it. I was keeping it because I didn't want to admit it was a bad buy. One client had 5 types of leave-in conditioner, 5, and she only ever used 1. The others were just in case what her hair suddenly changed texture overnight. Another had 3 kinds of setting spray, 2 curling creams, and an eyeshadow palette with neon colors that still had the plastic film on it. Here's what helped. We made a try again basket. 5 items max. Leave them out where you normally get ready. Give them 1 honest week. If you don't reach for them, not even once, they go. It's not wasteful, it's freeing. Because the truth is a drawer full of maybes drains you. A drawer full of yeses supports you. And if any of that hit home, make sure to come back tomorrow. I'm sharing a full list of things you should definitely remove the packaging from in 2025, things that instantly clear space and reduce visual stress without throwing anything away. Next up, if beauty clutter plays on guilt, the next kind of clutter plays tricks on your eyes. And it might be the reason your shelves still feel messy even when they're technically organized. Next up, the kind of clutter that hides in plain sight packaging. It doesn't spill, it's not technically a mess. But somehow, when you open that cabinet or drawer, it feels like your brain gets louder. The cereal boxes in 6 colors, the toilet paper still in its plastic wrap, the spice jars with 5 different fonts. None of it's wrong, but altogether it's loud. I used to think I needed better containers, but what I really needed was less noise. Now I take the granola bars out of the box and drop them into a fabric bin. I unwrap paper towels and just stack them. I even remove the outer wrap from bulk meds or batteries and store them directly in a drawer tray or small case. It's such a small thing, but the difference is instant. One client once told me her pantry always looked clean but cluttered. We did one thing, removed the packaging, and she actually said, "I feel like I can breathe when I open this now." You don't need matching jars or a label maker. Just fewer loud things screaming at your eyes. What you gain? Shelves that feel lighter. A brain that doesn't feel overstimulated. No extra cost, no extra effort. Next up. Sometimes clutter isn't just visual. Sometimes it's emotional, like the cleaning sprays we keep for a version of ourselves we haven't become. Next, let's talk about something that tends to build up quietly under the sink, in the laundry room, or behind the bathroom door: cleaning supplies. Not because we clean a lot, but because we keep thinking, maybe we will. You buy the lavender-scented floor spray with the pretty label because it made cleaning look joyful online. You keep the wood polish your mom swears by even though everything in your house is laminate. You hold on to the streaky glass cleaner from your old apartment because it feels wasteful to toss it even though you never touch it anymore. It's not really about the bottles, it's about hope. You thought you'd be the kind of person who mops every week, who wipes things down just because she's already up. And maybe that's still you someday, but right now all those extra sprays are just sitting there reminding you that you haven't become her yet. I've worked with so many women who had 3 kinds of toilet cleaner, 5 different countertop sprays, and no idea which one they actually liked. One client even had a box of dryer sheets she hadn't used in 3 years, but she kept them because they smell nice. Another had 2 of the exact same floor cleaner, both half full, both untouched for months. She just couldn't remember which one she liked better. Here's something gentle you can try: pick one product. Just one. Put it somewhere easy to reach and use it until it's empty. That's it. No tossing, no judging, no rushing to declutter everything. Just focus on finishing what you started. It's a soft way to reclaim space without forcing anything. I've seen people do this and realize they only actually need 2 cleaners total, not 10. One woman told me she felt strangely proud the first time she finished a bottle, like she followed through, like she didn't waste it after all. What you get isn't just more space in the cupboard. You get less guilt, fewer reminders of who you thought you'd be, more trust in the choices you actually make now, and one less voice in your head saying, you should be doing more. Next up, we've talked about visual clutter and guilt clutter. Now let's talk about soft clutter, the kind that looks cozy but can weigh you down just the same. Now let's talk about something that feels soft, sentimental, and somehow still stressful. Blankets, towels, and all the cozy stuff we fold and shove into closets. It starts out simple. 1 or 2 extras, maybe a gift or 2, a baby blanket you couldn't part with, a throw someone gave you last Christmas, and before you know it, your linen closet becomes a game of Tetris. You fold one thing, another falls out. You open the door gently, hoping nothing topples. The thing is, these aren't ugly or broken items. They're fine. Some are even beautiful, but they add up. And unlike clutter that looks messy, this kind hides in clean piles. It gives the illusion of organized, but you still feel overwhelmed every time you try to find one towel that actually dries well. I once worked with a woman who had 9 blankets in her living room. 9. 4 on the couch, 3 in a basket, 2 more folded on a bench. Every single one had a story, this one from her aunt, that one from her son's baby years. But when I asked which ones she actually used in the last month, she quietly pointed to just 2. We didn't toss everything. We chose 3 to keep out, 2 to store in a memory box, and the rest were donated. She messaged me later saying she finally sat on her couch without feeling like she needed to clean up softness. You can try the same. Pull everything out. Group by category: bath towels, guest sheets, throws, sentimental items. Keep your top 3 in each. Not the 3 you feel bad letting go of, the 3 you actually reach for. Because the truth is, you don't need a blanket from every era of your life to remember those moments. You need space now to breathe, to rest, to fold laundry without fighting fabric avalanches. Next up, the final kind of clutter isn't soft at all. It's the stuff we keep for safety or out of habit. Let's talk about medications and the quiet emotional weight they carry. There's a kind of clutter we rarely talk about. It doesn't sit out. It doesn't scream. But every time you open that little drawer or cabinet, it quietly reminds you of something or someone that's no longer part of your daily life. Medications. I've seen it again and again: infant fever meds, even though the baby is now 13, prescription creams from skin issues long gone, old cold meds that expired 3 winters ago. And then the harder ones pills that belong to someone who isn't with you anymore. A parent, a spouse, a version of you that needed more help. They don't take up much space, but they hold weight. One woman I worked with kept a small brown bottle in the back of her cabinet for 3 years. It had belonged to her father. She didn't need it, but she also couldn't bring herself to toss it. When we talked about it, she said something I'll never forget. It's like if I let go of the bottle, I let go of him. We didn't rush. We put it in a memory box instead. Not in the bathroom, not next to the toothpaste. It helped her breathe again just a little. You don't have to throw everything out today. But you can start by checking dates. Pull out anything expired, anything clearly not relevant anymore. Keep what's current, what's useful, and what's safe. And for the emotional pieces, give them a new place. One that honors them, but doesn't interrupt your everyday life. Because you deserve a cabinet that supports who you are now, not who you were 5 years ago. And that's what this whole list has been about. Letting go one small category at a time. Not with shame, not with pressure, but with care, honesty, and a little more room to exhale. And finally, before we wrap this up, I want to say something that might matter more than any tip I've shared. If these 5 things are in your home right now, the makeup you don't use, the extra cleaners, the towels, the meds, it doesn't mean you're bad at organizing. It doesn't mean you're behind. It means you're human. You've been busy. You've been caring for others. You've been surviving, growing, shifting, and in the middle of all that stuff piles up. Not because you're messy, but because life is full. And some of these things, you kept them because they represent hope, or memories, or effort, or the version of you who was trying so hard. Decluttering them isn't just about space. It's about telling yourself, I don't have to carry everything forever. I can let some things go and still be a good mom, a good daughter, a good version of me. So if all you do today is open one drawer, toss one bottle, fold one towel, and let it go, that's enough. That's a shift. That's how things change. Let's talk about the small graveyard of broken things we keep, just in case we fix them. That lamp that flickers but might be fixable. The toaster that only works if you hold the button down. The necklace with the broken clasp that's been in a dish for 3 years. You had good intentions, but now it's been months, maybe years, and they're still here taking up space and whispering little shoulds every time you see them. One client had a vacuum she kept in a closet even though it hadn't worked since 2018. It was expensive, she said, but the cost had already been paid. Keeping it was just adding mental rent. Here's a shift pick one item. If you really plan to repair it, set a deadline, put it on your calendar. If that date passes and you haven't moved on it, you probably won't. And that's okay. Letting it go doesn't mean you failed. It means you freed up space for tools and things that actually work. This way, your home supports action, not guilt. Now let's talk about creative clutter. The projects you plan to do, and maybe still want to but haven't touched in years. Scrapbooking kits, yarn stashes, half-finished DIYs, paint sets from when you thought you'd try watercolor. These things started out as hope. They meant you believed in your future self. And that's beautiful. But if they've sat untouched not for weeks but for years, they might be doing the opposite now. They might be making you feel stuck, guilty, behind. One woman had an entire drawer of beading supplies she hadn't opened since her daughter was in preschool. Her daughter was now 17. Here's a reframe. Keep the hobbies that still spark joy, the ones you think about with energy, not dread. And for the others, you're not giving up. You're making peace. Because your time and space deserve to reflect the you that exists today, not just the one who might return someday. This makes room for fresh inspiration when it comes. Last one for today, pantry guilt. cans you never opened, spices you bought for one recipe and never touched again, baking mixes 2 years out of date but still sitting there because tossing them feels wasteful. Let me say this clearly. Letting go of expired food is not wasteful. It's respectful to your space, to your health, and to your current reality. I once worked with a client who had 4 jars of expired olives. She didn't even like olives, but they were fancy and she thought maybe someday she'd host the kind of dinner party that needed them. You don't need to keep food as proof of intention, especially if it's expired. Start small, check one shelf. Clear anything obviously past date. You'll be amazed how quickly your cabinets feel calmer. What you get back: shelf space, mental space, and a pantry that feels like a support system, not a chore. So here's your invitation not to finish everything, but to start something. Pick one drawer, one shelf, one quiet category that's been nagging at the edge of your mind. Give yourself 10 minutes, not to fix your whole home, but to give yourself a little breathing room. And if today doesn't feel like the day, that's okay too. This list will still be here when you're ready. And if any part of this video made you think, yep, I'm definitely keeping that for no reason, I hope you'll join me tomorrow, because we're talking about the things you should absolutely declutter in 2025. Not big overwhelming projects, just small specific items that quietly drain your energy and how to start letting them go. Leave a comment if one of these tips felt true for you. And if you want more calm, real-life ways to feel better in your space, hit subscribe. We've got more coming. See you tomorrow.